It's Too T3rpd.
All right. Question number 1.
All right, let's go.
All right, you freestyle?
Ooh.
Y'all didn't know,
Here we
huh?
go. Let's see.
Let's go.
Robust, it's a must. Can't hit the cusp. I was trying.
I guess it went off. Oh, man.
It went off.
You almost had it. I gotta fix that every time. Everybody sounds like they got to get into the groove. That always happens.
It's just too much.
You don't?
No, that sounds like, what are you guys vibing to?
Hey, sorry, you plugged in? Hold on.
Okay, I can hear now.
Okay.
I was like, I want to vibe.
You freestyling?
Me.
I can probably play off Tyler.
Robust, it's a must. Green, got it.
Robust is the best. All the others can go to rest.
Ooh.
Our garden is so green. You know we keep it lean.
Hey! They said that's it. Dropping bars out here. I love it. Look at the whole Robust crew out here getting it. Dropping bombs already. We ain't even started for real. But y'all already know it's the Too T3rpd podcast, and it's your boy Donovan, a.k.a. Mr. You Knew What It Was when you signed up. Oh, wow, that's right. We forgot. We didn't give you the mic today.
Mikeless T over here.
Mikeless T.
Yeah, the hardest working man in these production streets.
Wouldn't go that far.
Well, you know, hey, I gotta give you some credit today. You've been working your ass off, dog. For real, for real. Shout out to the man with the plan today. He's been killing it.
You're just lucky I did arm day yesterday.
AKA Tyler Farquaad made the lady say, "Oh my God!" Love it here. As you can see, we're in a different location today. We went out on location. We're out in Robust Facilities today.
Yes, sir. Out in Cuba, Missouri. I'm just about an hour south of St. Louis here at our cultivation facility, 74,000 square feet, 90 employees. So just out here crushing it every day.
That's right. And y'all might not know that voice, but y'all about to today. We got some very important people in the building today. I feel, we done leveled up, We done been to a couple of facilities, but we have not talked to, like, the head people of the cultivation facilities yet. So, without further ado, give it up for our CEO, Tyler Hannegan. And what's your role again? I'm sorry.
Director of everything, Emily Braun. So Emily has been with us since the beginning. She was one of our first employees ever. So we came to her with a concept and an idea. Brad and I at Global Brew, right in Rock Hill where I live, kind of told her our plans, and she was like, I'm in. So she became pot committed that day, literally and figuratively. And we've been grinding it out ever since.
That's amazing. So, wow, this is going to be an even doper episode than what I thought. Honestly, we've been trying to get this planned for months now. So this is amazing that we're actually able to get this done, and I'm actually really excited for this. I've been a fan of your product really since you all started, because one of the main things that I love the most is living soil. And one of the things that the market didn't offer was living soil until Robust came along. And that's when I was like, okay, I see what they're trying to do with the market. And I remember actually Mr. Living Soil was the one who put me on. So shout out Mr. Living Soil. He said, there's a new company coming out there. Got some living soil going on. He's like, I haven't been able to try it yet, but I heard it's fire. So I had to run down to Field State and grab me some. And ever since then, there's a couple of people that I deal with in the industry when it comes to the corporate side, and y'all are like top.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast. Don't like saying the word corporate, but that's eventually kind of how we evolve. I mean, because it is a true place of business. We have over 130 employees now. At our flagship store, obviously, Field State, Florissant. Shout out to all the homies there. But we've been starting it up there and just been grinding it out. And I think that we have one of the most impressive menus. We are the highest rated dispensary in the state of Missouri from 5-star reviews perspectives. And I think that's a testament to a lot of the relationships that we've had since the very beginning, the medical market. And then obviously what we do with the community and the kind of the pull that we have, and you being a day one guy out there and kind of checking it out. And it's just been it's been an insane blessing for us to start there, then to actually have it grow into kind of what we're doing down here too.
Facts. So, okay, give us your cannabis origins to start out with. There's a long way before Robust came along.
So a lot of guys look at us, just like the corporate bros or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing for us is I've been a user for a very long time, whether that be high school, college, things of that nature. always been a cannabis enthusiast with kind of what was available in the marketplace, traveling to try to get to some of those nice drops out in Colorado back in the day, traveling to Amsterdam. Whenever this kind of came about, my business partner and I, Brad, were looking into several options. He was starting Wash U and actually evolved into being one of the 2 growers of CBD in the state of Missouri. So he was with Noah's Ark Foundation.
Okay.
I was with Mercy in Healthcare. I got approached with an investment opportunity, talked to Brad about it. Famous last words, but was like, fuck it, let's do it ourselves. And then, so that's kind of how it started up. My dad helped us out, getting us going. Then we've kind of taken it to where it is today.
Hell yeah. And one thing I want to correct you on. You say that people look at y'all like bros. Honestly, I feel like hopefully if they do, this is going to change everything because you all aren't bros. This isn't the typical corporate facility, honestly. It is definitely family oriented. It's definitely, honestly, I'd say like craft, like batch grown here. Like
it is, and that's the only thing. Like, I'm a big lover of food, big lover of wine, and if it ain't fine, it ain't mine. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna be running the best strains here. We're gonna be only smoking the stuff that we want to actually produce. We're very intentional in all of our products. We're not just coming out with edibles or anything like that. We're coming out doing the labor behind the scenes on our rosin. We're hunting, we're pheno hunting, we're doing everything we possibly can to keep having the best stuff that we all want to smoke and use, because if we aren't utilizing it, then who is, you know? And I'm a firm believer of that. And there's a few other people out in the space too that utilize soil, and I think they do a great job as well. We have one of the senseis of all cannabis that's been out here now since October with Brian Sayer he's been a OG, like Humboldt guy, came out, helped us anticipate the demand coming through with the recreational endeavors, and then really kind of right-size our facility. And we're making a huge investment now with the biotherm system. We're going to have the only natural gas chilled system that biotherm's ever produced from Tecogen. So that's actually some of that construction you're seeing on outside, but just another thing that we're going to keep doing to level up here.
Okay. Now, you covered one of my questions I actually had for you, is that's one of the things that I've seen around here is like how efficient each station is. How did you implement that from the beginning? Like, what made you all want to take that approach?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me, in any way that I lead or any way that our leaders lead, it's hard on the process, easy on the people. And once our people start having issues with the process, we got to tackle it straight up. And so whenever we're making investments into our equipment, our facility, we're making our investments into their people. And we've had a lot of day one folks from out here, from in the community, that have been looking for that ability to get back to that green touching, plant touching, being about cannabis. And so we've provided that culture. Like, I take a lot of pride in that, because if I was making this drive an hour and a half every single day, best believe everyone better be happy, you know. And you walk through the halls, you're getting fist bumps by everyone. Everyone's smiling, everyone's happy, and every single person that we have on tours, like, what are you guys doing out here? I'm like, it's just kind of the Robust way, but it is a family vibe. Being an owner-operator, I take a lot of interest into, once again, how we can make this place more efficient without cutting corners, because you get with what you pay for, and I'm a firm believer of that. So if I'm going to make an investment, which we continue to do, it's going to be for our people and mainly for our product as well.
Hell yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Now, speaking of day ones, let's transfer it over here to Emily for a little bit. So I know he said he gave you the spiel, but what after that really enticed you to be like, you know what, I'm going to go with these guys and see what they're talking about for real?
I have a huge passion for small companies and startups. I worked like 6 years prior in a very small alcohol liquor side, where I was the only employee. So I really learned business, and hearing the way that they talked about the passion and what was to come, I saw the opportunity and the growth that was there. And at my age, it's really rare to come upon opportunities like this, and I'd be stupid to pass it up. It was terrifying because I had no idea, like, if it was going to be successful, it was going to fail, but I was willing to take the risk. And truly, like, I mean, our interview was like 2.5 hours, and we ended up like hugging at the end. And I was like, I think I landed that. I was like, that was amazing. So, I mean, truly, it's a huge piece into the way Tyler Hannegan sold it to me, that I was like, I'm going to do this. And then here we are. So 2.5 years later.
That's amazing. So did you, were you into cannabis at all before this? Or?
No, I had just parted ways with my previous company, and I was kind of taking a month off, figuring out what to do. And his best friend actually put us in contact and saw the work that I had put in previously at the last company. And kind of just dove in. I don't really have the cannabis background, but I have the business background.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, which I think is kind of what makes our company a little bit unique, was half of us are cannabis knowledge and half of us are business knowledge. And I think without the two combo, you see a lot of those corporate struggles where they're either too corporate or they're too relaxed. We kind of have that good balance of like, all right, here's the rules we do need to go by, but like, as Tyler says, like he wants to get everyone stoned at the end of the day too.
Yeah.
You know, and like participating in that and being with the culture is like a huge piece of this, and something that I've gotten to learn a lot, and something I'm still very new in. And I don't know if I'll ever know cannabis like some people do, and I'm fine with that because I continue to learn.
That's amazing.
And I think that's like the biggest thing is just like being vulnerable, because like one thing that we like to be in this space is very open and talking to people and like strategizing with other like CEOs and other co-owners, and like anything that we can do to help out, like we're about it. And Brad, you know, my partner, like he's really been the design elements behind this facility, all the genetics coming in. Like he had a lot of that cannabis knowledge, and we call them the Island Boys, but you got to meet Mitch and Lance.
Okay.
They're both from Florida, so they think they're pretty tight. But they're actually best friends. They grew up in grade school, high school together, traveled the country to work in cannabis. And then whenever Mitch came on, he was part of Field State. Lance is actually working with another company here, being their buyer, so we instantly integrated Lance to our operation. Just as Emily said, the kind of the dyad structure of us that are passionate about cannabis, but then the true like people that can get it done. That's like what's made us very successful in this, and like having that vision. And you know, we used to have another couple out here that worked us from the very beginning, and like shout out to the Millers that helped us out very much, so starting us out. And it was really their methodology to go with that soil, like that living soil approach, and like really kind of constructing like how our operations are and like how we're living now today. Because was it all sunshine and unicorns like starting out? Like hell no. We used to be in 15-gallon pots. You know, we lived and worked through that as we needed to uptick demand, and then kind of transition to our 5 gallons, more streamlined processes.
That's dope.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like you could play why me, or it's like, how are we going to get this done?
I love that. Yeah. I love that mindset. And I can tell, like I said, I could just tell you all get things done. Like, it's a fun environment, but like, yeah,
it's serious. Yeah, it's serious. I mean, we got a lot of people, a lot of family and friends that are investors in this. And like one thing I always tell them, it's like, you're not investing just like in your company, you're investing in me. And like my job, you know, I'm spending time away from my lovely wife, who puts up, and Brad's lovely wife. And Brad has 2 kids. I have a kid and a kid on the way.
Okay, congratulations.
And yeah, thank you. And you know, it's just one of those things where it's like spending time away from family, but then also working with family on something fun too.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. So how hard was it to get your family to go ahead and be like, okay, we'll rock out with this?
So before this, like I was in healthcare, so I worked as a director of operations over adult specialties, did a lot of mergers and acquisitions at Mercy, and had a nice corporate job.
Right.
Like all my folks from out there, like love them to death. Like a lot of great things that were instilled in me from the very beginning, like operationally focused, but leadership oriented. And like that was a huge transition. Everyone's like, so you're going to get into cannabis from healthcare? I'm like, facts. Right. That's what's not going to happen. It's we're going to succeed. And anyone, it's like kind of a little bit more motivation to me for anyone like that doubts you. It's kind of like, okay, so you can sit on the sidelines, but this is what's going to happen.
I love that. I love that mentality. See, that's why I fuck with you. I could tell, like, you're a real one.
Yeah. But it's also just like, it's one thing saying, another thing doing. Yeah. And whenever I get into business with people, I'll give them the name to my lawyer, because I'm like, if you ever need to talk to the lawyer, I fucked up. So like, I'll never fuck up.
I like that.
I would say a huge thing he does is transparency, which is what we do as a company, which is what like really helps like create that culture, is like not just like keeping secrets on that corporate side, and it's letting our people know like, no, like here's this, you know, because people see cannabis and they just see dollar signs, and it's like, we're going to give you the full open door to see what we're doing behind the scenes. And like I said, that's a huge reason too why I'm here, is the transparency. I'm a bad liar anyway, so like it works out, but it's something he does, and I think something that a lot of other companies kind of respect on our end.
So how was it transitioning to this industry?
Honestly, it was interesting. It's not very different than the alcohol industry, other than just the type of people. Gotcha. People are a little bit more relaxed on this side, which I appreciate. But from a business perspective, they all start the same way. Same with small businesses. You got to get your P's and Q's and everything lined up, which is kind of what we did. And If anything, I'm working on a 10 times greater scale than I was previously. So it's just getting comfortable working with the things that we're doing, and him trusting me in that process was a huge proponent in that, and letting me just literally do what I do best and get it organized and get this and make sure our bills get paid and payroll gets done and all the things in between. So it wasn't really a huge shift. It was more just the mindset of okay, we're going to be representing to people. And I wasn't just representing to myself, where I was more behind the scenes. And this was okay, I have to have a face out there, which is kind of scary.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm a very behind the scenes person. I love my monitors. I love my Excel sheets and all of that stuff. And I'm a very social person, but I never want to sound stupid. And cannabis was something I wasn't too familiar with, other than just using it recreationally.
Right.
And it was the same thing in the alcohol industry. I wasn't too familiar with mezcal, and now I could probably bore you all to death with the things I know. I'm very much a learn as you go, and I still get very intimidated too, because the cannabis culture can be a little intimidating if you're not on it with all your terpenes, on it with knowing the genetics. And I'm just I just love smoking good weed.
I'm right there with you. I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
Yeah, it can be a little intimidating, but I feel this community has been very welcoming.
Very.
And it's been really fun to see grow in a city that I was born and raised as well, which is very unique.
Yes. So speaking on that, because you were born and raised here as well, right?
Yeah, I was born in St. Charles. So
Okay.
grew up in St. Charles there. And then I live in Rock Hill now. And so kind of it's 20 minutes to the dispensary. Then it's an hour and 15 minutes here every day. So yeah, but St. Charles, where I was born, my whole family's there. Brad lives right next to me in Webster, grew up in Chesterfield, and actually across the street in Florissant where our dispensary is up. And it's just always been kind of that mentality of hey, we got opportunities here. And to Emily, it's we'll figure it out. That's my famous words. We'll just keep figuring it out.
Because I thought that was really dope that y'all were in North County, because I'm actually a North County. I used to be a North County resident. I was born and raised. So when I saw that was the first one there, I was okay, y'all really doing it. I thought that was dope that y'all were bringing something to the community.
And our GM too out there is North County based, raised, and we call him a local celebrity in North County, and especially in Florissant. And so he's brought a lot of people to the dispensary because of that too.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest things that we do, whether it's in Cuba, Florissant, wherever we're expanding to, it's one of those things where it's we got to be lockstep with the municipality. So Mayor Lowry up there, he's the man. Former police chief. We know Chief Fagan, who's amazing. Down here, we know Mayor Leathers very well. We used to work a lot with Dr. Sean Seabird, who we still work with. And it's we integrate ourselves into the communities because we're not just lip service. It's for real. And a lot of people, and it's not bashing people, but people have their guard up. Mm-hmm. And it's about that transparency. And it's here's what we need. Here's what we can do. Let's meet in the middle and try to figure it out. But that's why we've been successful, is just because we lay it out there. And I think it's quote unquote being blunt. So, pun intended.
Most definitely. So, okay. We'll switch a little bit of gears. Want to ask about the environment a little bit. So, what is it that you expect out of your employees from working here?
Yeah, the expectations, it's just minimal. You know what I mean? It's we're not here to be your parents. It's okay if we're friends. But the only thing that we're committed to is respecting others. And, you disrespect others by doing things not showing up on time.
Right.
It's calling off all the time. It's not hurting us as much, it's hurting your colleagues and your peers.
Right.
So our biggest thing is it's a very team mentality. Under this umbrella, we have 10 departments that work out of this facility here, comprising of teams of 6 all the way up to 20 to 30, in separate different categories. But, the expectation is that you're not supposed to know everything, but you're going to learn a lot. And the main thing is if you show up, you're going to eventually be integrated and elevated, and you're going to continue to work. And everyone that does work here, that's been here from the beginning, has either worked in multiple departments, based off of their need or on our need. And it's that transparency model where it's you want to work here, but you may not have ever worked in cannabis. We're going to try to find a position that's going to work best for you because you're needed, you're loved, and we'll figure it out together.
Facts.
Yeah.
And the one interesting thing that I found out, because I was asking quite a few people, a lot of people are home cultivators as well.
Oh, yeah.
Have a background.
Yeah. It's very funny when I do interviews. I always ask, do you have experience? And you hear this, and I'm it's a safe space. You can tell me you've previously, and they're yeah, I've been growing for this amount of years. And so a lot of people really do have the passion behind it. And that's truly what we ask, is to bring that passion in here and kind of leave outside life outside the door. Like, you know, when you get to come here, like, this is where you kind of get to escape like the real world problems and just have a good time, be happy. And, you know, so far so good.
And just speaking for myself, like, if this was work, I wouldn't be here. You know, I show up and it's like, damn, it's like 5 o'clock. I need to go because I'm not going to get home till 6:30. But like, you know, like, your day passes quick, because I think that's a testament of like, it's not work. Right. You know what I mean? And some people, some days it's work. Yeah. You're like, damn. But like, a lot of times, like, and like, overall, it's not work. Like, it's fun. Like, you're building something different. We're doing something different. And, you know, being a byproduct, just giving these tours for folks, it's a testament. It's like, you can come here any day. You're going to get the same vibes no matter what. And it's like, everyone's going to be happy. And like, everyone's like, you put some in the water? I'm like, no, we're city well-run water. But like, you know, it's like, it's a true testament to like the OGs being here since the beginning and like leading their teams, leading their departments.
So did you do any home cultivation yourself?
No.
No, really?
No, I'm not a green thumb. I'm more of like I'm dangerous in the garden, like, to understand and like look for anomalies and stuff. But generally, like, Mikaylaa, Emily, like, we're kind of like the tour squad. Like, we're going out there. But
We're the hype squad.
The hype squad for sure. But a lot of the other folks like don't want that. You know, it's not like we want spotlight, but like, you know, they're kind of just like, I'm a plant person.
Yeah,
like,
I understand.
I'm not here to like converse. I used to work with a lot of doctors, and a lot of our cultivation team members are very much so that scientific methodology where it's like really good, and like sometimes like the extrovertedness is like, I don't want to. But like with us, we're like, let's go show them what you're doing. This is great. This is awesome. So it's kind of the good hybrid for all of us.
Hell yeah, I love that. Okay, so give me some smoking stories. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see here.
It's like this week.
I was gonna say
Here.
Like a funny one.
I'll a funny one.
Yeah.
Okay, funny week.
Oh, I have a funny one. It's stupid. I think it's funny.
Shoot.
So we like to do team events as much as we possibly can. And we did our first big team event, and Tyler actually did a pig roast. And so he had been out at this farm like 20 minutes from here for like since like 5:30 a.m. And like, so we're all like just smoking nonstop, because every time I book an event, I always ask, you know, are you going to be okay if we smoke cannabis? Because regardless if you say yes or no, my staff will. So like, if you're not comfortable with it, we'll find somewhere else. And so they let us smoke outside. And it was you, me, Brad, and Jason. And this farm has all these like play homes. And we go up in one, and I'm sitting like, and it's like smaller than where we're at, like all like in this little circle. And we all smoked this J and essentially hotboxed ourselves. And I have this like 2-minute long video where it's just laughing. And like, it's like over the stupidest things, but it was one of my things. Like, you look out the window of this little home, and I just see like the rest of our staff smoking. And I was like, this is so cool.
That's amazing. Now I see why I call ourselves robust, because y'all be walking around with them robust clouds.
Yeah. And actually, one of the funniest things about Robust, the name, so it actually came from my Mercy days. And it was a gentleman who I'll keep nameless, but a very high-ranking individual at Mercy, physician, and he'd always say robust, robust, robust. So whenever we're talking about names for our company, I was like, Brad was kind of like, dude, you always say robust. And I was like, okay. And you look up the definition of it, it's a rich flavor smell, and it's like kind of fits like exactly what we are. Like, we are chasing terps. We're after the stinky, funny stuff. And like, it's just crazy to just think about like how Robust came about, like even the name in itself, like organically. Yeah.
That's fire. Yo.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
So give me some of your favorite strains grown here.
I'm gonna throw out probably one of our biggest hitters right now, our Orange Runts, kind of across all SKUs. The Orange Runts, it's really nice. It's kind of got like this very citrus, spice, cheese to it. It's bizarre, but it's very effective. And then whenever you get that in the rosin form, it absolutely slaps. Like, I was talking to a few homies at the dispo that are like, dude, I can't even smoke that during the day. But like, I mean, you can if you can. And then
it's a mindset.
Get your lungs up.
And then it's just fun, like for me to kind of look at it like food or of wine, or I'm a big bourbon guy too. But it's like whenever you get that in the flower format, trying it, then you get in the rosin format, trying it, and then actually seeing how it goes into like the Rosin cart, which we just launched. Like they all have different properties, but all the same kind of pretense. But it's really nice to kind of get like that vertical tasting, in my opinion. Yeah. So Orange Runts, huge fan of the whips. Cali 1, Cali 2.
Apples and bananas.
Definitely
That's a cult favorite too.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone. I just saw some Apples and Bananas 7 that's getting cured up now. We have a few fun things that are coming down here with like some of our permanent markers coming down. Got a few other testers in the garden. But I'd say one thing that's been surprising me this summer a lot is our raspberry parfait. We're just looking at pictures right before this, but I mean, just super chunky right now. Our Platinum Gorillas, GG4s. I can just go on. It's the problem.
He's like all of the above.
Well, and the thing is, though, it's like we like everything because we've been so deliberate and we've been so meticulous on like our moms, on taking everything from seed, not taking cuts from anywhere. Like true immaculate conception of like seeds and like having them go through other ones. Everyone's like, y'all are crazy. You can't do that. We're like, we concur. It sucks. But like, it's what we're about to do. Yeah. And it's like, it's the reason of who we are. Like, we're not going to have shortcuts. And not to say that anyone else is taking a shortcut by taking a clone cut. It's just a different style. And it doesn't work for us. And just like our process wouldn't work for them. So, but it's everything that we have here now, it's like, I'd truthfully put my name and be like, oh yeah, I'd smoke that. So whenever it's like, what's your favorite? It's like, damn it, there's 32 of them. So like, oh.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yo, I just thought of a joke. I ain't gonna say it though.
Oh, what?
I was like, you over here like Crime Mob. You got them 32 flavors.
Exactly. 32.
That's fire, yo. Yo, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
32 flavors.
Yeah, so we got 32 different genetics that we have right now as like keepers. We've hunted through probably an additional 150 that we just don't keep. We've had some that'll start like after a while they'll start reacting to the environment a little bit, you know, whether that's throwing herms or just like not getting that same content or those terps coming through. Mm-hmm. So eventually we just kind of call it quits on a few. Like one of the named favorites that everyone really likes, like Drakari's, like we just, I know, R.I.P., we loved her. One of my initial favorites that was a huge slapper was Undertaker. But everyone's like,
oh my gosh, I forgot about
Undertaker
that one.
was great. But then
I
we've
love
had
Chanel. I mean, our first one we launched, Chanel, I was a huge fan. I mean, she does not like to be grown in our garden, really? And just caused like all these issues. Would get super seedy, would just get too large, which you didn't think that could be a possibility. But like, it was just such a great plant to launch with because it was just so beautiful and smoked so well. But I think that's also why I may like her the most, was because I had her for like such a short amount of time. Yeah. You know, it's like those limited drops.
Yeah, I definitely got to check the Chanel out. That was fire.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, I missed out on that Space Center too. The Space Center Rosin was really fire.
Like, Rosin was
like
really
it was
good.
A good dumper, but like R.I.P. You know, it's got to move on.
I think the last one that I had for y'all was the Black
Hole Sun?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
Black Hole Sun's fire.
That actually Spotify playlist that Mikaylaa and I've created is really fire too.
Yeah?
We try to create a Spotify playlist for all of our strains.
Really?
So like you can smoke and jam out and
There's songs that all mention like the strain name, so they all say Black Hole Sun at some point in the
That's hard.
Yeah.
Yo,
we're huge music people. I mean, I'm a huge music person, so I need music everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I thought of this idea and I was like, wait, wouldn't that be so cool? Mikaylaa took the ball and ran with it.
Y'all kind of running into the next segment now. Culture. Because you all are starting to really embrace yourselves into the cannabis community and the culture. I've seen a couple of events that y'all are putting on. I had put on.
Yeah. And like I think the biggest thing for us is just like not to be pretending of something that we aren't. Like if we're going to do an event, it's because that's who we are. Mm-hmm. That's some people we represent. That's like there's a direct tie to it. If we're doing a golf tournament, if we're doing a pop-up, if we're doing a concert, it's deliberate in everything that we do. But you know, I think that there's a lot of people that have been ahead of the curve on us, you know, with like really getting out there in some of the communities, hosting some crazy events like we want to partner up with too. Like we just talk and just emulate a lot of other brands. And it's not like copying them, it's putting our own spin on some of it. But like with Mikaylaa and everything that she works on and like everyone from that field state, like everything that we do is trying to get into that culture. And it's like not trying to be obstinate about it because you don't want to push anyone else out just as much as we want to be like about this age group. You know, there's 3 other age groups and different gens that would like not be favorable to like a concert or like a pop-up or getting super heady with it. So, from the soccer field trip mom all the way down to like your heaviest stoner, we have something for them.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So like that's one thing is like we don't want to niche ourselves out of anything, and like we don't really even play too hard on like our organic forward approaches. Like everything that we do is based off of like clean green certification and everything that we're trying to do for that. But like we haven't even like used that as a lot of our marketing, because right now in this recreational world, it's kind of like products are just selling, and there hasn't even really truly been a title shift in like pricing based off quality yet. And a lot of people are like, don't you want like less people in the space? And like the business side of you wants to say no, but my side of me, like operating an independent dispensary, is like, I want more products on the shelves for people. I want more diversification of prices, like, because that's whenever the true quality. If someone wants to buy something for a little bit less, then you might actually see what the quality was over here. But if everything's priced the same, you don't really get that vibe right now. So, I think that there's a lot of things that we're going to see over the next 12 months in this market that's going to be very dynamic. And then you're going to truly see a lot of that separation, because there's still a lot of people that are just now growing into 30,000 square feet. And so we've been at 30,000 square feet this whole time. So whenever you're taking that next level step and you're going to integrate, maybe it's another 10,000 or you're going to double your space, there are some damn growing pains. I mean, fact of the matter, it doesn't matter if you're going indoor, greenhouse, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a dynamic for a lot of people, and I think it only helps. But like from us, it's like I don't let really the market kind of dictate what we're doing, because it's like if it's going in that robust bag, it is meeting certain specifications. And there's only one thing that I'll call ourselves out on that got through, is this Runts Muffins batch. And I called every one of our partners that day. I was like, fuck, this shit, it's trash. Like, discount it. Sorry about that. But it was like one SKU, and like that kept me up a little bit. So like anything that we're putting out there that Lance and Mitch and Brad are putting their names behind, like it's fitting the definition of robust. And if it's not, that's on us, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I would say to that culture piece, like Mitch and Lance have been a huge proponent, as well as like everybody in this room, is the way we market is a little bit different. We just show up and we sesh. We want you to smoke the weed, because that's what sells it. It's just like with wine and liquor, like you need to try it before you believe us. And we could do all these fancy things and market all these certain ways, make billboards, whatever. But if you can't smoke the weed, how are you going to know if it's good or not? So we always show up everywhere, J's in hand, and present them. And we do that even on like more of like the like actual cannabis like corporate side. We still show up to those events and we're like, you want to go outside and smoke? Because like it genuinely sells itself, and that's what we believe in. And that's how I sell it to my friends too. I'm just like, just come over and smoke it.
Well, I love that y'all have that approach, because at the beginning, a lot of people were actually like, you would go to events and you can't smoke, and it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, what is this?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like, that's not an event I want to be a part of.
Exactly.
That'd be like going to like a beer tasting and not having beer.
Exactly.
Right? It's like you can look, but you can't try anything. And it's like, but how do I know if I'm going to like this or not? And I think like we've been strong on that like since the beginning. And I mean, it's also because we're all stoners on this side too, which I think makes a difference. There's a lot of corporate people who don't really want to smoke, which that's their own prerogative. Some people don't like it. But I think we all just naturally just smoke a lot. So we already have the weed on us, but we always make sure if we go to any event, we pack extras, because we want to share, because we really love what we have.
And I think the biggest thing too, it's just like, from like companies' perspective, like we can't smoke on property here. And it's like, got to be careful for like whenever we go to public events, and like, where can you do it? Because it still is kind of taboo and stuff like that. So like just finding the more partners that are like-minded, the actual private owners where you can have private events, and having fun with it. Because if you're not having fun, what the hell are you doing? Like if you're going to an event, if you're going to a concert, like you want to have fun. You're paying for that.
Right.
If you're using our product, should hopefully either enlighten you, like relief, like provide some relief or something. Or like if we're going out to an event, we want to have fun. But we got to do it respectfully. And, it's one of those things, as the national landscape changes, I think that as more states come on, hopefully the descheduling comes upon, like the Banking Act passes, whatever. It's still going to be stigmatized, but there's nothing worse. And, so many people I know have been impacted by drunk drivers or anything like that. Like, I'm a firm believer that this is a different outlet for people that can really help.
Okay. I got another good question while you were coming up, while you were talking. So, How has it been being like a home facility and starting out in this industry? How's it been for you?
It's you got to be meticulous, and you can't make the wrong decisions, but you got to make decisions, and you got to build the plan while you're taking off.
Got it.
So it's like you got to take risks, but they got to be calculated risks, and you got to always know your P's and Q's, and you always got to be thinking 30, 60, 90 days out. Because if you're making a nearsighted decision, like, you're already behind the 8 ball. If you're talking about yesterday, yeah, I'm in the next year. So like, whenever I'm thinking about stuff, I'm 6 months down the road, knowing it's probably a 90-day implementation, knowing the cost, how we're going to segment it out, getting Emily involved, getting the operators involved. So like, that's kind of where I come into the facet here. I do a lot of investor relations. Brad is like the legal guru, along with like our attorney. And like, Brad's also compliance, plan experts, and like, I'm kind of more that operations with like Mitch, Lance, Emily kind of keeps us all in line. Mikaylaa markets the hell out. Like, we're all kind of like a dynamic team here. So I think that's like the biggest approach with us, is just like making sure that like we are always maintaining the bottom line. Because a lot of people in this space, I find it very peculiar, and just the stock markets in general, not to get conspiracy laden here, but, you know, operating in debt and all that stuff. Like, if you're not getting out of debt, how are you profitable if you keep assuming more debt? So like, my biggest thing is operating it like, you know, the old generation is like, I only pay for things in cash. And, you know, it's like, yeah, there's still some credit out there, but my biggest thing is being very mindful, because everyone has a boss. Right. You know, like, I report to myself as an investor, like, hey, Tyler, how are you doing today? I'm like, okay, make a good decision, buddy. But also, it's like, I'm being mindful of my other investors, because my end goal is to also like never have us jeopardize like our products that we're producing, because that's where that corporate mentality comes into play. But people need to understand, like, this isn't free to run. You know what I mean? Like, just showing like some under the hood elements to it. Like, we pay right around like $400,000 a month, you know, just in payroll. But like, you know, we're very transparent about those things. We have all of our COAs on our stuff. Like, people like that. But like, also whenever people are talking to us about like everything else, like, I love telling people that, because then they're like, oh, damn. Yeah. Like, and you know, that's not like company, we never pulled a dollar out of this company. Like, we invest it back into it. So it's like, we keep trying to move the needle forward for like us and expanding, because like, I want to take care and help more people. And like, the more operators and owners that can get on this level, like actually operating, it's far and few between. And that's what Brad and I and like everyone else here takes a lot of pride in, because it's like, I'm an owner operator. Like, it's not just like we won licenses and it's like, hey, go figure it out, let's go make money. It's like, oh no, because those people have already sold out and they're not grinding. You know what I mean? So I want to keep grinding.
We've all literally had our hands in that garden.
Oh, yeah.
Too, which I think makes a huge difference, is like knowing all the pieces of the puzzle here. You know, like, I mean, I bud tended. Like, I could not do that now. I don't think anybody wants me to do that now. But like, we all have played every single role in this company, which I think makes a huge difference of us understanding it from the employee's perspective as well.
That's right. Shout out. We're going to talk to her soon, but Mikaylaa, I was so impressed by how much you knew. I was like, damn, yo, like, you really got to know your shit to be working up in here, man. Damn.
But that's how it is. I mean, like, and that's where it's like, it's not expected day one, but like, you integrate yourself to it. I guarantee you could talk to anyone on this team. They know exactly, like, from the P's and Q's, from A to Z, everything in between here. It's, you know, we have 26 different life cycles of the plant we're managing. So all the way from clones all the way down to it being sold. Yep. Like, there's 26 weeks, and that's half a year, in case you're running some calculations here. So, you know, by the time we take that clone, by the time we actually recognize revenues, like, that's a half a year process, and we're perpetually harvesting. So everything keeps feeding through that channel, and like, that's what we're meticulously focusing on. And like, I'm a big person, like, triangulating my reports. Like, I'm married to a CPA, so she's a little bit more nerdy than I. And like, I'm dangerous enough in finance to know, but like, the things that we have done as like business operators makes it easier on ourselves. It's like hard to take that time and the diligentness on the front end, but you reap the reward throughout the year whenever you're not having to scramble. And it's like, whenever like our banks, or whenever we're talking to anyone else, or like vendors, like meticulously planned out like where we're at financially or what we're doing, like, here it is. It's very transparent. They're just like, oh, you got it right there? Yeah, that's how we operate.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Man. Y'all Hey, I don't know. I'm a little blown away.
Are you falling in love?
Like I said, I was already a fan of the product, but be able to come here and actually see, like, man, this is really how they busting it down. Like,
yeah, it's for real. And, I take a lot of pride, like, my family is a lot of good business people in their lives. And it's like kind of just like the way I look is like me just like carrying up that torch. And like, if my name, if Hannegan's on it, like I take a lot of pride in my Hannegan family name. So it's like anything I'm doing, I want people to be like, that was a good guy. You know what I mean? Like, not that I have to appease everyone. I'm not here to be like, oh my gosh, like people don't like me. That's okay. But like, they should at least know that that's a good person.
Right.
And so as long as they can be like, Tyler's a level-headed, good person, that's all I care about. Because you're only good as your name and your legacy. So if I died here tomorrow, I'm very confident that every single individual here would come back and operate exactly to the vision that we've had. But it's like while I'm here, while everyone else is here, like I want people to be like, he's a homie.
hell
Cool
yeah.
guy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, one other thing I wanted to touch on, the media aspect. I see you all are in the content game too.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That's Mikaylaa.
That's me.
Mikaylaa is frequently telling us the latest trends. I've been a part of some of those trends, some videos. But no, it's I mean everything that we do, like, and that's like the biggest thing. Everyone's like, bro, like your guys' socials are off the chain. I'm like, yeah, I didn't do that. That was all Mikaylaa.
That's what's up.
But the only thing I will put my hat on is we did launch. Mikaylaa did everything, Kristen Williams, but on our Terp Chasers, like that's kind of like a fun play that we do. And like Robust is like a funny name to me, but it's very serious, like whenever it presents itself. But then if you look at like our Bee Buds, like our little budlet lines, like packs, like we came up with that brand and I swear to God, 3 minutes. It was the craziest thing of all time. Like I was like, grab your packs and go. Then Mitch and Lance were like, dude, yeah, we should do like primary colors, blue and yellow. We sent it off to like our packaging team. They're like, what about this concept? We're like, holy shit, that's it. Like we had a brand developed in like 30 minutes.
I was out of town for 1 day.
She's out of town for
One day I come back and they're like, we need to tell you something. I was like, oh my God, like what happened? Like I wasn't even gone long. And they're like, we made a new brand. And I was like, what the fuck? and then they like told me the whole thing and they're like, we already have, because I was like, okay. They're like, no. We have the font, we have the color, we have this. And I was like, oh my God, what? Like you guys did that so quickly. But it ended up working in our favor.
It did. And like a lot of our marketing stuff, like the Terp Chasers is just kind of like a testament. It was a joke, like starting out. But it's like, we chase terps, dog. But it's for real. Like, that's what we do. Yeah. Like, if we ain't got terpy shit, what are we? We're not even like a brand. Like, we're not living up to our expectations. So it's just kind of a continuation of like what we do. And it's honestly like a lot of things like that Head Change does, like what they do. Like, I feel like they're very mindful from like their social medias and like all their fun ass plays with like Cush Stadium, and like I love Corey and Peter and all those homies there. But like Terp Chasers is kind of like our rendition to that. And like we have a lot of cool stuff coming down from like apparel wise, social media marketing wise, that kind of has spins off the Terp Chasers element to it. But it is kind of like a testament to like who we are. Whenever we launched 710 for all of our Rosin cards, like we're Terp Chasers. Yeah. Period.
Tyler's wearing the exclusive shirt.
I am wearing that shirt right there.
Hey.
Oh, here we go.
It was like the back.
About to spin off this thing. But there we go.
There you go. Hey.
But no, it's like it's just fun with like the marketing piece, and like we've all been very intimately like engaged in that front because it's all like what we're trying to say and speak to it. And then Mikaylaa unfortunately has to decipher what the hell we're saying, like make it actionable. So she's got a tough job.
Hey, she excels at it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I was thoroughly impressed with the tour. Like, you smoked that shit, yo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Professional tour guide over here.
I got a question for you real quick.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite strain of ours? What that you puffed on? What'd you say you had last? You had the Rosin?
Black Hole Sun, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, and it's a shocker because I usually don't even like CBD like that, but it was the
Blueberry milk?
No, it wasn't the blueberry milk. Was it the was it the
Apple fritter?
Yes, apple
Damn,
fritter.
that's an OG.
a classic.
So that thing had a very nice like
Dang.
rotten apple nose to it, and
Actually brought me back.
yeah, we had like apple cinnamon crumble and one too, but like yeah, the apple fritter was really nice. Like once again, that was just like one of those things that just wasn't like working out too well here. We had a few drops of it, and then it was kind of gone. One of my dark horses on that was and people are still gonna give me shit on it, but was the Spanish Moon. It was not like a stacker, but it had the wildest like creme brulee finish to it of all times. Like it was like straight caramel. And Mitch and Lance and everyone else was like, screw you. And it's gone.
Damn.
It's harsh. I mean, you literally got to make the cut here. I mean, but you think about like what we do. We're taking 2,000 clone cuts a week. We're populating our rooms with 1,650 plants. Like everything's got to be very synergistically. Things got to finish on time. And a lot of people in the space are like, you guys are trying to control nature and you can't control plants. It's like, no, you can't. But like, we also can't let the plants dictate everything because there's limited dry space. Right. Like we have to be very diligent on making sure like we have people and we have jobs, like we have people hired. So if like we don't have products coming down, we don't have stuff to trim, we don't have stuff that's curing or packaging, like that's a huge risk for the entire company. Exactly. And you know, we're going to do things right 100 times out of 100, but like in order for us to make things right, we have to balance that business component. So sometimes it's the byproduct of cutting shit out we love. Some of us love.
I mean, hey.
It's like, yes, some.
Yo, that's hilarious.
But honestly, I mean, that's like what we do up here, though. Like, I think that's like why Tyler said like why we drive is it's fun. Like, I know I wouldn't drive an hour and a half every day if I wasn't like, wow, I really love what I do.
But you actually have to multiply that times 2 because that's just down here.
That's just
still got to go back after. So that's 3 hours of windshield time. I think the number one question we get is like, what do you do on your drive? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's just something you do, and like, I mean, well, most people smoke, but it's a lot of like reflection time because when we're in this building, like, as soon as we pull through that gate, it's go time. Like, people are asking you a million and one questions. Tyler's asking me a million and one questions. We're having to do all these different things, and honestly, the drive is like therapy.
I can see that.
Because you can like either turn your brain off or you work more, take more phone calls, but it's honestly like it's just a fun atmosphere, and like that's how I preach it to, because I do all of our hiring here, and that's how I preach it to all the potential applicants. I'm like, it's genuinely fun, and I know I'm super biased to say that, but like, if it's not fun, like, we wouldn't be driving down here. It's different than a 20-minute commute where you can like tolerate something, but it's like, we have to make this fun because we are sacrificing like so much time coming down here. So why not have like a really cool environment and like get along with people? And I'm like, I genuinely like all of my colleagues, which is like very rare to say. And I'm like, I want to hang out with them. They probably wouldn't feel the same, but
you never know, shit.
Oh, no, I can hear Mitch and Lance already being like, no, we're good.
It's that island boy mentality, man. They're hard. They play hard to get, you know.
But we're like a family up here a lot too, you know. Like we've all gone through so much shit together, like whether with this in this company or with life, and like we're able to rely and like have that open communication with each other, which has been really nice, and also just consistently give each other shit.
Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed. Like the vibes here are hilarious, man. Y'all really do fuck with each other. Like,
oh my god,
are you kidding me? My life every day.
You can probably see the soccer goal out there, but we have soccer and football. But
once again, I was out of town for that.
Brad, myself, and Mikaylaa were here for like 3 weeks. Mitch and Lance were gone. Emily was gone, and then we had the soccer ball. So we have like little places in our conference room where we can just like hit it on the targets and stuff like that.
It's weird. I keep telling them maybe don't hit it against the wall. They're like, it's fine, it's fine. I'm like, okay, but it's like, yeah, it's fun. It's fun up here.
You be regulating around here, huh?
I'm like the mom / sister / babysitter.
And I think that is like truly like the testament. You know, like I used to be in a suit every day. You know, like I still have a whole wardrobe full of suits, but like I'm so comfortable just like being able to come down here and like truly be myself. Yeah. Like, you know, it's so much more fun to like have that guard off. Like the expectation is like who you are. So like as long as you show up and you are who you are, like you're gonna win. Yeah. Like, and I think that permeates through to everyone. You know, it's just funny. Like whenever we used to have 6 people here running this whole facility. Then there's like 15. Then we're like, oh my, 12, there's like 40. We're like, oh my gosh, 40 people. Then it's like 90. Then it's like,
no, we don't have
where
enough
do I park?
Space to park.
You're double parked outside too. Yeah. But part of that expansion is like we're kicking out our fence over there and like getting some more concrete over that side. Really? So just like always like reinvesting in this facility here. But we have 15 acres on site, which is pretty nice. And and you know, it goes back to like that relationship we have with the municipality and like just finding things that work synergistically with one another. So it's pretty dope setup we got here.
Hell yeah. All right, before we bring Mikaylaa on, I got 2 more questions for y'all.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's see. Give me y'all's top 3 strains that y'all have done.
Brunch Bunch, Cali, Whips.
Like
You're gonna have to make him choose.
I'm gonna go Whips for sure in my top 3. I'm going Grape Rose Pie.
Oh, you do like her.
Grape Rose Pie is the sexiest looking buds I've ever seen. I'm gonna throw Cali gets so much love. Brunch Punch gets so much love. One thing that we're starting to ramp up production a lot on that is one of the craziest smokes I've ever had is Cushman's.
Oh, yeah.
So our Cushman's is a straight up minty menthol. Like, it is a wild, boisterous high. Like, you get Stony Baloney off it. And, like, it's a really unique nose. It comes through looking really nice. But I'd say Cushman's falls in, like, probably my top 3 right now. Grape Rose Pie and Whips.
Okay. Yeah, I've had the Cushman's pre-roll. I haven't had the flower just yet.
I'm telling you. And, yeah, excited about, we had a new drop come down to the Banana Sangria. So that's looking fire. The Banana Sangria 26, I think it is maybe. But that's really unique. And, like, having the different phenos of it, like, I really love that because to me that's, like, almost like a barrel selection. Like, whenever you're looking at, like, distinctiveness or like different wines procured from different areas or barreled like extended ages, that's what I like our level of like how we like it. If we were hunting and we find 2 of them we like we're not going to call them the same thing. Like we're going to split them off and that's going to be Cali 1, that's going to be Cali 2. If this is Banana Sangria 4, this is Banana Sangria 6. So just the way that we go through about that, I like it as a consumer because it does go to like that artisanal, that really batch specific shit that I like.
I guess I could tell your style, yo. You real fancy with it.
Yeah, I like it.
It said like the wine type flavors and all. Like I see you.
My wife is like, my wife is like boiled hot dogs and potatoes, and she's fine. I'm like, I need some foie gras and like some proper wines, and she's like, okay, buddy.
It's all good. I'm bougie too. So
hey, there we go.
Go out to dinner with him sometime.
Yes.
It is fun.
Yes.
We don't work this hard just to enjoy the simple things.
That's it. That's for real. But my dad's, he's just like, yeah, give me a hot dog, give me something easy. I'm just like, give me a nice steak and some cab.
I need to know
right
like what grass it ate, like where it was, what bedtime stories it was.
For real.
Word, yo.
Yeah, it's about the story.
That's right. Tell him you knew what it was when you sang dude.
That's exactly right.
Hell yeah. And then top 5 dead or alive that you will have a smoke session with.
Top 5 dead or alive. I think I'll go 2 polar random people just straight off the cuff, but I'm going Snoop just out of respect.
Always.
I'm going Johnny Cash as well. I think Johnny Cash would be fun to smoke with. I think Snoop would be great to smoke with. I'm gonna go Elon Musk as well for 3. If I could bring someone back, I think it'd be funny to bring back like my grandpa or something to smoke with him. Like he'd be like, "You crazy son of a bitch." And then one I'm still holding out for my mom. So she's on blast now. So still haven't done it yet, but we'll get Mama Kim on the track soon.
If I can make a suggestion, try Jamaica.
Ooh.
Take her to Jamaica.
And then it's like, okay.
I mean, it worked out for me. So I try to give everybody that suggestion.
My mom's the same, but I never pressure anyone. But I think it'd be fun for her to try a product, And I think everyone gets some benefit out of it. Whatever that benefit is for you, if it gives you more energy, if it gives you better sleep, if it gives you pain relief, if it gives you anxiety relief, whatever it is. But I think it'd be funny to smoke with my mom.
Hell yeah! Like I said, you might have been related to Montego Bay.
Hey, there we go.
Something about that island, man. It just.
She's gonna kill me for saying that too.
Hey, it was worthy cause.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Emily?
Oh man, I'm so bad at like naming things, but I'll try my best. So I would probably do my grandma, who's no longer with us. I think I just know that she would smoke or at least try with edibles, and I think it'd be fun to dabble with that. Super kind of random, but Abraham Lincoln. I don't know why, but I just feel like that would be like a really interesting sesh, and I'd love to hear like all those thoughts. I feel like there's so many like musical artists that I would like die. I mean, Adele would be really fun to smoke with. I think she'd be absolutely hilarious.
Adele and Abraham Lincoln together.
I don't understand. I feel like that's a great circle.
Adele would be singing. Adele would be singing. Emily would just be crying like, oh.
And my grandma would be right there just chilling. Frank Sinatra has always been a huge fan favorite of mine. I just think like I feel like he sashed hard, probably on some other stuff too. Okay, so I've given 4. I have to do one more. I feel like I should do someone that's like alive. I don't know.
Anyone.
But see, that's where I hate when people ask questions like that because I immediately forget what every person's name that's ever existed. I'm like,
Nah, you killing this right now, yo.
I know, but this is like it's a very eclectic circle.
5.
I'm gonna at least open up the door and like check in the
3,
room.
2, 1.
Myself.
There you go.
And I'm peeping in the door just to see what's going on. That's an interesting ass room, yo.
I think that sounds more like an acid trip than a smoke sesh.
Yeah. I'm smoking with myself and my other self.
It'd be kind of cool to like smoke with like myself throughout like the years, you know, like smoke with like past self, future self, like that type of
Now you talking.
right? And be like, all right, girl, like the younger self, like it'll be okay, like chill, don't have so much anxiety. Like future self probably telling me current self don't have so much anxiety.
That's hilarious.
But I think that'd be
lit.
a really cool little mind fuck.
That actually would be tight.
That would be my
Right? Like smoking with like all of your current, future, former. We'll see.
That,
Science, you never know.
We got to talk to Elon Musk.
yeah. Actually, yeah, he might be in charge of that. Maybe I might want to combine y'all shit together. Like, you might get some real. Yeah, you might have to-
Who would be your top one?
Okay, let's see. Of course, Wiz. Say Drake, Kobe. Let's see. With those SZA in there. And then let's see who would be my 5th. I guess maybe try to Malcolm X. I guess why not?
Hey,
People
there you
let him
go.
throw something
And that's a
out.
good 5. That's fast, too.
Yeah,
I feel like that's premeditated. You already knew.
it's that improv thing. You know? It's the list thing. I'm used to doing that now. Somebody throw you on
I
the
feel like I'm
spot.
gonna message you like tomorrow and be like, okay, wait, I have a different 5.
That's funny. But yeah, man, it's truly a blessing to being out here and just, you know, it's fun. Like, it's fun to be able to showcase all the hard work and like all the sacrifices because there is a lot of that. And like, you know, a lot of people think, once again, I say it all the time, but it's like unicorns and freaking, you know, sunshine just pissing all over here. But it's like, you know, it's like you got to grind it out. And that's about what our team is just like doing the right thing, being hard on the process, easy on the people, and coming out with the most terpy, delicious shit we can.
I would say communicating too.
Yeah.
Big communicators over here.
Big communicators.
Like every step of the way. And I think that's what helps us, our team, and especially on the executive side, feel involved. Is that we do know everything that goes on and like have those conversations where like we really don't have time for like full team meetings, but we all stay in constant communication, which is just a huge proponent. It's what we tell our staff too. Over communicate will put you above the rest. If you don't talk, you don't tell us what's going on, we can't help you.
Hell yeah. I love that. I love that. Like I said, I like y'all, man. Cool, man.
Hey, as long as you leave being like, Tyler's a good guy, that's the goal.
You won my cosign. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Once after you have that orange runs rosin too.
Hey,
We'll get the real
for
seal
real.
of approval.
Hey,
real.
y'all already got it. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know I've been rocking with y'all for a minute, man.
Yeah.
We haven't met yet, but like honestly,
Yeah.
I've been rocking with y'all product since it started. Like,
And that's like what it's all about. And it's like finding good people like yourself, what you're doing here,
Thank you.
and like finding good people to keep supporting, because it's like, I'm sure it's probably far and few between where you actually sit down with someone, you're like, oh man, it's kind of sketch, but like, I'm sure every single person you intentionally reach out to, like, there's a good relationship that's built from that.
Oh, yeah.
And like, just what you're doing with this, like, this is helping us so much.
Thank
And just like being able for us to sit down and actually smell the roses for 5 seconds. We don't do that all too often. So this is kind of like one of those reflection points for us, like where you talk through it and you do talk to your old self. You're like, oh man, there was some shit back then. But now it's like, you know, things are good, but I want them great.
That's right.
You know, so it's like, just keep setting that bar and moving that target, because a man without a goal is just, you know, you're up a creek without a paddle.
That's a fact.
So we keep, you look at my big board in there, you'll see my top 9 goals and cross them off, you know, and then you'll see on my whiteboards. I'm a big whiteboard guy, so that's just I need to visually see it.
Yeah, same. I definitely do my year checklist and all of that. Like,
the word of the year for me was manifest. So I've been manifesting a lot of stuff this year, and it's been kind of crazy. I got my manifestation rock from Mikaylaa.
Yeah,
she saw my post. Like, I got you a rock and a pill thing that like you write in. I was like, hell yeah! But like that's what it's about, and it's like, you know, just being your true self. And like, you know, a lot of times you can get on like in front of a camera or whatever and like try to spin it sideways like you're someone who you're not, but people read through that shit real quick. Thanks. And like just like being yourself, as long as you do the right thing, you can go to bed and you can wake up and be the man again or the woman. So
that's the number one thing that I have heard in this industry is make sure that you can go to bed at night. No matter what you do in this industry, make sure all the decisions that you make, you'll be able to sleep sound.
That's exactly right. And never fuck anyone over.
Yeah.
There's no reason to.
Straight up.
That's
a fact. All right. Before we end, though, I got to get Mikaylaa in here.
Here we go.
Got to talk to her. Got to.
Is she taking over for me or are we good? No.
Whatever y'all want to do. Yeah, we scoot over a little bit. Appreciate you for coming through, Emily.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tag you out.
All right. The master tour guide is in the building.
That's me.
That's right. Give it up for Mikaylaa. Do another one. Yeah. Y'all see that audience out there. So how you doing today?
I'm great. You know, it's wet outside. So.
Hell yeah.
Living the dry life inside.
Yeah. Been showing us all around today.
Yeah. Hopefully I did okay.
You did amazing. Okay, cool. Honestly. I can't wait till that footage comes out.
Me too. I'm really excited. It's going to look good. I'm really excited to see all that. We interviewed Jess and a couple other people too.
Hell yeah. For sure. So give us a little bit about what you do on the day-to-day basis here.
It changes every day. So it looks like a lot of things. It looks like booking events. It looks like giving tours. It looks like meeting with Tyler on the daily to kind of roll out a yearly strategy for marketing plans. It looks like going into the garden and I actually take all of the videos and I take all the pictures. I do have a little help that we bring in every now and then, but majority I take those photos and then I actually sit, organize, edit, do all of that. Yeah, I do all of it.
Okay.
And then I also write all of the descriptions, all of the cannabis cards, and I actually am the only person that does pop-ups as well. So
really,
I am the street team. I am the one-man show, making sure that our name is being projected out there in the correct way and being shown in the correct manner, and making sure that these people that are actually selling our product at dispensaries as well, I actually educate all the bud tenders too.
So did you already have a previous background in that, or did you?
So I'm 22.
Oh shit.
I met Tyler when I was 19 or 20. I started working at the dispensary when I was 20, and then all the way through 21st because they didn't pass that law yet.
Right.
So I was working in medical, and then I was their marketing there, and I kind of did some other things there, some just different tasks, and then moved here. So I went from working 500 feet behind my house to driving an hour and a half to work.
That's actually amazing because you've been able to get in on this from the whole program from the jump, and you're so young. So, okay, yeah, I got a really interesting question. So what's it like from your perspective? Like, what's the industry like?
It's really weird. I have my people, I have got people my age. I've got my demographic that's very easy to cater to, that I'm comfortable in, that I grew up in. I can educate them just like we are, just as a casual conversation. I do have those pushback of people in my generation or that are a tad or older, like millennials.
Oh, shit. Damn, shot me all up.
Sorry, not that old, I'm just saying. But like older generations, I see pivot a little bit in each scenario that I enter in. Whether I'm at a pop-up table at a random dispensary in Independence or in St. Louis or in Dexter or something random, somebody is going to come up to me and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about at some point before I can even say hi to them.
Yeah.
Because they automatically assume that I don't know anything because of my looks and how young I am, and that weed is different and that all these other things. So there's a really education base of like, you have to know who you're talking to. You have to know how to approach them because you can offend people very easily in this industry. And some people are looking to argue for a fight. Some people do want to tell you that you don't know what you're doing, that they know better. Sometimes you got to validate them, let them shoot their shot, let them live their life and go about their day, because at the end of the day, I'm still doing my job and I'm okay with it. So it's a very it's a very controversial pivot between the generations, but I have seen this trend within the last 6 months of people kind of accepting it. Shout out to Field State for not more than one of their bud tenders, but a few of their bud tenders actually creating safe spaces for more than one generation to educate, for them to be comfortable, not only just in the dispensary, but online too.
Yeah, that is dope.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest thing too is just like, with talent, like cream separates, and like with Mikaylaa, like young, whatever. I don't care if you're 70, 80 years old, if you can do the job. Like Mikaylaa stepped in here and like really understood the background of like the industry, what we were looking for, and kind of emulates, embodies, and not only that, but portrays us exactly how it needs to look to the consumer face. And that's a hard thing to do, especially working in a very fast pace. Like, I mean,
Changes
it's nonstop, changes every day. And like, I'll throw out some random shit. It's like, yo, Terp Chaser. She's like, okay, I'm about it. And like, some people are like, I'm not sure. I'm like, we're running with it. And then like,
I created a whole poster around it that we are now using as a whole educational platform for all the dispensaries that we sell our weed to.
That is badass.
Off of a joke from me and Tyler for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So it's just kind of fun too with like, I was always in that position too, where it's like a younger guy being like a director and like, oh, you can't do this because of your experience. I'm like, step out of the way and then watch what I do and judge me on my work, not on my age. And like, people even to me, like, oh, you're baby face. I'm like, yeah, sorry. Like, I can't get any older, but I can outwork the hell out of you.
Exactly.
And like, I find it very disrespectful whenever people bring age to the equation, but like also like on the contrary, the end of the spectrum where people are like, I'm retired, whatever, but like I know that those people can hustle sometimes harder than me or go even harder.
Facts.
Like that's the biggest thing. It's like never judge a book by its cover, and like that's why it's like those truly connecting the dots and like letting people do their piece is like so important, because otherwise you're just gonna judge for no reason.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
Yeah. Now, one thing I got to give you credit for is hats off for having such a diverse group of staff, like young, old, like that's fire.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that you were 22.
Yeah.
For real. You are way beyond your years, yo.
Thank you.
Like, that's
that a lot.
crazy.
Yeah, I think our oldest executive in the company is 33.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Damn.
So like we're pretty young, but like our investment team, like, but that's the truth behind it too. So it's like we're in this position because a lot of people trusted and invested in us, even though we were young, like family, friends, and like other business people around St. Louis and even in Arkansas. Like, though we're young, they're still like, you guys can do it.
Right.
So like that's what a lot of people need in their lives, and like a lot of people I feel like have tried to be in other industries or in other companies and never been given that like we got you mentality, and like you're gonna fuck up, but it's not about what happens, it's about how you react.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's call it what it is. How are we gonna move forward? And then it's like reset, move forward, boom.
That's dope. That's amazing. Got another question for you. So what even made you pursue to try to get into the industry since you were so young?
So my background was always in nursing or in healthcare. So I grew up even in high school doing shadowing, working in a hospital, cancer patients, clinics, doing just lab results, things like that. COVID hit, obviously, so that's had a detrimental kind of play on my life and events and like getting to fulfill basic childhood things of like being a young adult. So where that came in is I was in nursing school and they told me to get vaccinated and I told them no, and they kicked me out of school. So I became a nanny, went back to school for horticulture medicine, for like Chinese medicine, and then actually moved to Oregon for 6 months with my uncle, learned on the hemp farms that they have out there that his friends owned, learned how to cook, and then moved home with the intention of finishing school. When I moved home, they built this new dispensary right in front of my house that I walk by every day, and the manager there used to be my old manager at the bar that I used to work at. So Nick used to be the manager of Show Me's.
Really?
Yeah. So I worked for Nick for 4 years before that, and I was like, you guys hiring? Like, am I even old enough? And he was like, yeah, let me find out. And sure enough, got me an interview, and that's how I met Emily. Emily conducted my interview and became a bud tender.
That's crazy.
So I've got all background in more of like natural medicine, remedies, and kind of like patient care.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the perfect fit for me. kind of like what you were saying, like you have to be able to go to bed at night. You have to be also fulfilled in this job.
That's
in
a
sense.
fact. That's a fact. Damn, look at you.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's been over the last 2 years.
You got to hold on to her, yo.
Oh yeah,
She going
Absolutely.
places.
Absolutely, facts. If we're not growing, and if people aren't growing, they should leave. You know, I'm a firm believer of that. It's like, if I'm not creating an environment for you to continue to personally and professionally grow, you're out. Like, if you own a company that's not growing, and if you're not doing everything, you're not fully committed to it, you need to sell it and get the hell out. So I'm a firm believer in that. It's like, if you're not growing, what the hell are you doing? You're just living. An object in rest stays at rest, an object in motion stays in motion. So got to keep growing.
Man, y'all out here just blowing my mind. This is even better than what I expected, honestly. Like, I was excited to come out here and do this, but this definitely exceeded my expectations.
Seeing it is different.
Yeah.
Not even just like seeing the actual facility, it's the people behind it. That's what I'm most impressed about. Like, all of that is most certainly impressive, but just the people that make this actually go, and you can tell why it works so well.
Yeah. And that's been one of our biggest things. Like, we kind of like behind the curtains a little bit, like let our product speak for itself. And then it's like, whenever we get the chance to open up and talk about it, like, I have a problem with shutting my mouth sometimes. Like, I like to talk a lot, but it's because I'm passionate about it.
I guess y'all talk y'all shit, so like, and y'all back that up. So I'm gonna keep it real, for real.
That's exactly right, though. But it's like, you know, anyone and anything, like, you put your mind to it, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, creating this place, if you would have talked to me 5 years ago, like, dude, you're gonna be running a pretty successful like cannabis company in Missouri, I'd be like, you know. But like, once you actually think about it, it's like, okay, got it.
Doing it, yeah.
Doing it.
You're doing it.
Tuned in.
That's right, for real.
Uh-huh.
I'm excited to see where y'all heading to, too.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're excited for you to watch us.
Yeah, you already know. I like that. I like that, yo. All right, I think I might have covered everything. Y'all got anything?
No, just thanks for the support. I mean, it's people like you that, you know, reach out and like just allow people like us to tell what we're doing, you know, like, and I just couldn't thank you enough. I couldn't thank all of our team members enough. Couldn't thank all of our partners enough. Everyone in the industry, everyone from MoCan, and a lot of people at Cachet, but yeah, everyone at DHSS that's actually working on like regulating. Like, it's a very thankless job, and like, you know, they get the brunt of a lot of bad things, and I consider myself like Eddie Haskell to the state, like just trying to be nice to them. But, you know, it takes the whole village to do it, and I just appreciate everyone supporting us and just giving it a try. And even if it's not for you, I can think of 5 other brands you should go try. You know what I mean? But like, I'm obviously going to be very prideful in what we do because I can put my name behind it. I can go to sleep at night. I know exactly how we're growing. I know exactly what type of rosin we're making. I know exactly how we're curing. I know exactly how we're drying. Like, I take a lot of pride in that, but take a lot of pride in just being able to talk to you today.
No, well, yeah. Before we close out, though, I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody here for showing us the utmost respect, for treating us amazing, like giving us an amazing tour. Y'all really did this thing, yo.
Hell yeah.
Thanks.
Still just getting started, baby.
That's right. That is
got a lot
fact.
coming.
That's a fact. And let them know where they can find y'all to get all this information at.
Oh, man, everywhere.
You can find us on Instagram at robust_cannabis, or you can find us online at www.robustmo.com.
Absolutely.
It's got all of our locations listed on there near you with an interactive Google map.
And all of our COAs as well. And Mikaylaa did a wonderful job along with Kristen redesigning her entire website and everything, so it looks really posh, really nice.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Clean.
I spent a lot of time on it, so I hope it looks good.
Hell yeah.
So go visit it.
That's right. Make sure y'all buy some of this fire merch, too.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, Tyler's got I only have 50 exclusive Terp Chaser t-shirts
Okay.
that we were rolling out, and Tyler's the first one to wear one.
Yeah, and it's like, it's funny because I'm always like, we're not an apparel company, but damn it, we got some fire.
We got
ass
some
shit.
good ideas, though.
Hey, you never know.
Exactly.
Never know.
Exactly.
This might just be the start. Well, this is just the start.
It
Shit.
is, yeah.
This is just a start.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. But thanks so much, man.
No, thank you.
All right.
Hell yeah. All right, let me go ahead and close it out real quick. Y'all already know it's been another episode. You make sure you follow Eddie at STL_Kush_culture on Instagram. Make sure you follow Ryan on Flucker. Make sure you follow Too T3rp's Instagram. Make sure you follow our YouTube. Hit us up on that hotline with the voicemails and text, 314-399-9711. And make sure you check out that Patreon. And don't forget to follow me, Donovan2408, on all social media platforms. Wow. Yeah. It's been a great day, yo.
It's been so cool.
It's been amazing.
Great.
Hell yeah. And y'all already know it's been another episode, and we will see y'all again next week.
Stay robust.
Hell yeah. Peace.
You want to wrap us out?
Yeah. So I tried on the first one.
Tried on the first one.
It's 222.
He said, nah, he's out tapping out. He said, hell nah.
He said, no, we got to go smoke first.
I fuck with that.
Oh my gosh.
We out.